Alright, finally my internet is okay. My internet has been a total mess this morning. I am a bit behind, but I managed to be away from all spoilers. All I know is these picks, which I think so far are a bit of a meme. So let's figure it out. First pick Xayah, Kaiser's in. No Kaiser pick, Xayah first pick. Kayle lock-in, Ryze Kayle matchup, Rek'Sai Lee Sin matchup. After that Rek'Sai game, Broxah is dedicated to playing Lee Sin only. Yuumi was banned, so Fnatic's strategy paid off. Keep playing Yuumi until someone bans Yuumi. God bless them. My voice is beginning to give up, so this is the only game I'm reviewing today. My voice is all fucked up. This is a very hyped up game. Let's put that in a nice place. Let's put my face in a nice place. Young Buck. Oh, let's mute that. I've learned to mute it right away. Let's make this screen a bit smaller so it fits and no one complains in the comments. See, I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Boom. Alright, let's see the continuation. Pantheon always permabanned. Gragas banned. I respect it. Xayah first pick into Kayle Lee. Vladimir Renekton banned second wave. This might be a Gangplank fourth. Maybe GP gets banned. Run never give up with a GP ban on fifth. Could be interesting. Pyke Morgana, they are prepared for that one, so they ban Pyke. Also good call, good call. I like it. I think there's a high chance that Reckless just doesn't want to play traditional AD versus Reckless Uzi. Maybe he's just gonna avoid playing traditional AD at all costs against Uzi. Maybe that's his game plan. Not to be overperformed on AD. Can always fall back on the comment that he played non-AD. Because Morgana, don't want to play with Kaiser, and Kaiser is the choice. Rakan is also open, but they picked Morgana. Shen blind on red side. Big boy is exposed. Big boy is exposed. How can you win the game with this draft? How can you win the game with this draft, guys? Yeah, you have Kayle mid and Morgana support. Like the Shen is not going to be used that well. Kayle mid as well against Ryze. Like you're just sacrificing whole early game right now. Gnar pick into Shen. You're also revealing right away where Kayle is going. Like no one is buying this bullshit that Kayle might go bot. No one's buying it. What's the super pick? Karma into Morgana. Okay. Let's see. It's a Karma steal away. Steal Karma away so enemy can't go Karma Morgana and then Blitzcrank Hylissang. Wow. Deadly combination, boy. Well, if Kayle reaches level 11 and is fed, then maybe she can smurf on the enemy team. If not, which should be the case because she loses against Ryze early, Kayle should lose any matchup early. She's just about sacking and getting pushed in. Jahu with Prio roams super well. It's like an LPL trend. They know how to roam and pressure the map. That's why I like to praise Jahu. Mechanically very good, knows how to spread pressure. Occasionally gets caught. In the 2 games that he played, he died because he wanted to push for a 1v1 kill. So let's see if Lee Sin Broxah can punish there if Nemesis is in trouble. Bwipo on the Shen into Gnar. It's not terrible, the matchup. There's definitely worse matchups than this one. But they were lining up for a GP with those bans, and RNG adapted very well, so I respect that. And also picking Karma away. Maybe they wanted to pick Morgana Karma here on bottom, and with the Pyke ban, it reduces the amount of champions that Reckless can play that are not AD carries. So Morgana pick with Karma lock-in is good into Morg, and then Blitzcrank lock-in. Let's see if Hylissang can find some hooks. At least we have Hylissang on a playmaker. With the Yuumi ban, it puts him in a position where he has to pick something else but Yuumi. So let's see if Hylissang can impact the map, because that's what we're hopeful for. This is the Fnatic that we want to see on Hylissang's part, at least. The rest of Fnatic's draft, since when did Protect Nemesis become a thing, you know? So we'll just have to wait and see. Oh, those banners look sick. Oh, Lang X. Oh, Lang X. Whee! Reckless, though, why is he waiting so long with the binding? Yeah, just fucking bind. Wake up. Just fucking bind, bro. So you can at least burn a flash. That is sad. Morgana practice has not been paying off. But Lang with a quick reaction there to bounce off the heads of the enemies. But Fnatic with some good and stylish level 1 strategies here. RNG didn't push for any wards in enemy jungle. I didn't care for it. Broxah most likely was going to start red, but we've seen a lot of blue start decent solo starts. Maybe he's going to get a leash from Blitzcrank and Morgana. They both skilled Q, so most likely they're going to lose push. So it doesn't matter too much, it doesn't impact them. Here you can see Fnatic are using this sneaky little angle here. There's a position where Fnatic don't get spotted, and then the moment, like you see that, they're using this, and then the hook doesn't land. Honestly, if Hidesang hooked him, he's just saving him anyway. So Fnatic honestly have a free kill here, but they trolled. Keep the hook, chase after him, and then if he jumps, hook, bind. You have so many tools here, but they're just blind hooking. Honestly, if he lands this hook, the continuation needs to be the Morgana cube hits. But if it doesn't, you E out with Gnar, flash out. It's all good. It's all good. Let's see what Nemesis can do in the mid lane matchup, but playing against Ryze Rek'Sai as Kayle is a tough one. You're a melee champion with no fucking escape. Like Karsa with flash on should be able to pick up a kill or two. So we have to pay attention to that. RNG with the bot lane push, normal. Xayah, Karma can push. You know, Karma is good in the Blitz because Karma can secure push almost always. And if you push against Blitz, if he lands a hook, it means you're just terribly boosted. So I like the Karma pick. It's a nice Reckless, and this is RNG showing that they've done the research here on Fnatic. Really good preparation. Fnatic have a cocktail composition. Let's see if they can get away with it, because this is like a funnel without the funnel. So it's just tragic, I think. Funnel without funnel. Gnar is getting hard pressured on top. I think early levels Shen can just taunt into him. He secured the prio because I think Gnar had to base because he got chunked. And that's super cool. This is not the worst matchup in the world when you blind pick Shen. There's definitely worse ones. Vladimir was banned, GP was banned, and Renekton was banned. A lot of counters into Shen. But Gnar will eventually win, and this is Nemesis getting dove. He doesn't even need to contest the wave, he just straight up gets dove, and this is a disaster. Nemesis will have to TP back, Jahu will get to keep his TP, and then Kayle is gonna slow push out, and Rek'Sai and Ryze can just walk on mid and get another kill. Lang X might be in dive range. Here, taunt into E like Q of Lee might be a one-shot. We have to pay attention what will happen to top wave. Shen doesn't have any ways of harassing. There's the taunt, misses. Bwipo takes a turret shot. Here, if this Q lands from Lang X, maybe he can push for a flash of Bwipo, but this is a very, very rough dive. Didn't work. The wave was too thinned out. It's hard for Shen to maintain a wave that is good to dive. It's not like Jace that can pressure in the same way. Jahu with a massive trade already onto Nemesis. They managed to kill Nemesis without burning any flash. Here Jahu is just going to stack another wave. I think RNG should just look to focus, dive this mid lane. If they can keep diving him over and over, honestly, all is good. Because here, Gnar should have prio, bottom should have prio, Rek'Sai should have prio over Lee, Ryze will have prio over Kayle, he can stack waves. Here, after the blue buff, if Rek'Sai passes into mid, they can pressure dive again. Lee Sin and Kayle will have to share. Maybe the TP of Morgana can save him, maybe TP of Shen. But because of the prio on both sides, this will be very rough. I am not excited at all by Fnatic's draft. It might look funky and all, because they have, so many shields. Kayle's gonna carry, ooh. You know, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. You're not gonna have prio anywhere, and Kayle is just a target. So Karsa is hovering into top side. This I don't like. Karsa wasting his time diving the Shen. Might work, but he has a taunt, so it might be dangerous, and a W to defend a lot of damage. Ah, fuck, man. What was this? Oh, what is Santa bringing? Free kills is what he's bringing. Broxah looking. Broxah missing. White tie Lee Sin. Well, this is just bad decision making. RNG diving top. You know, go fuck yourself with this. It's just not a good play. Once again, you have prio everywhere. Play cool. Make the play into mid lane. Make the play into mid lane. Kayle is the useless one. Kayle is the useless one. Earlier you one-shotted Kayle. You have Hail of Blades. Then here, just Shen has too many tools to fuck you over. It's a Shen taunt, W. Maybe if Gnar gets to harass him one more rotation, okay, then maybe it works. But here, Kasa burning his flash, disaster. Kasa dying, big disaster. Just giving Fnatic a window here. Broxah was in good position to punish. Well played by Broxah, well played by Whippo so far. Doing as much as possible with as little as possible. Because their draft is wank. I don't like their draft. Bottom matchup, Uzi doesn't have TP, so he had to preemptively base. Means he's not going to build too much of an advantage. He's catching a wave now under the tower. Now most likely lost chapter into BF. The wave should be contested quite evenly. Morgana level 5 she can clear the wave. I think Xayah will go out of mana faster than Reckless will. Reckless TP'd on bottom, coin ready, and support item ready for Karma. She kept all her potions and biscuits. Probably don't need to go biscuits in this matchup. Who's gonna harass you? Well, I guess you need mana because you can harass them. But it seems very uninteresting bottom. Seems like RNG's bot lane are just playing for prio and sees lead. They can just keep pushing. But I think Reckless Morgana now on level 5. I imagine he has a larger champion pool, so Uzi can't play the same way in terms of just walking up. Oh, okay. And also now with Morgana push, maybe Blitzcrank Morgana can actually do shit. Because here RNG they're respecting, but Ming gets hooked. Because yeah, they're respecting Lee for sure with the way they're walking. They're not walking on the wave, but RNG once again, Ming is just looking at cinema. Because there's no reason to expose yourself. Very good hook from Hylissang. And now maybe with Morgana 5, with the mana advantage of Xayah and being able to push, maybe they can push and find hooks under the turret. Because always with Karma, what she does is she's very strong from 1 to 5, but her 6 is very weak in comparison to a lot of other champions because, you know, you don't get an ultimate. Straightforward and simple. So we're starting to see some of the sense here. Morgana Blitzcrank, level 5 power spike. I like it. Oh, okay. Okay. Nemesis staying alive in this game. I blame Kasa's decision making to dive top. Fnatic bot lane seems to have prio. That's a beauty for Hylissang. And as long as they can push and maintain prio, all is good. Skamo support is pretty fucking garbage. This was more of a steal away and pick into Morgana more than anything, but the Morgana is the AD and Blitzcrank is the support. So, as I was complaining about Fnatic's draft issues here, I can see the idea behind the Morgana Blitzcrank here. On level 5 they seem to get prio. Kasa's showed on bottom now, and that's why they're giving up. Shen has ult on bottom if they need, but Gnar can match with TP. Whippo is maintaining a healthy CS here. Gnar, not a super counter to Shen. I think it's definitely one of the better matchups that Whippo could get, but still Gnar should have prio. He gave up prio here because Karsa is on bottom and Broxah's top. This gave RNG's bot lane prio. It's a big deal to have prio with Karma and Xayah, is because if you can position yourself in a way where you can hit the wave as soon as it's coming, then you can maintain prio over and over. And Morgana can't really W the wave as it's coming. The wave needs to crash. So basically there needs to be a pile up. There needs to be a pile up. And then Morgana can W, and then she hits all the creeps, and then she's gonna push. Xayah, her AoE is in line, so if she can hit the wave as soon as it comes, she can maintain prio. But this makes this type of play puts you in a position where you have to have jungle pressure, and Broxah can't come and screw you over because they have Shen as well to be prepared for any of these plays. Langx not in position now to get any He needs to get items as soon as possible. Here, this Herald play gets spotted. Hylissang just hooked in mid and burned Jahu's flash, so that's enabling the Hylissang as one of the plays. This is gonna drop quite fast because if you have champions with a lot of attack speed, then the Herald dies fast, and RNG go for the play where they look to swap, which is very common against non-traditional AD carries because they break towers very slow. So the punish here, if Fnatic committed into going bottom, the punish would be very slow. We saw yesterday G2 when they gave up the Herald, they took a full bot tower and they got a lot more CS than the enemy because they had a traditional AD carry, but C9 had no option. Hilly is the carry, like Hylissang is getting every shield in the world. Shen is gonna pop now, let's see if the taunt lands. Oh! What is Santa bringing? So the fighting power here on Fnatic is very limited. They can maybe catch someone and combo that person down, but beyond that there is very little to do here. Let's take a look at this fight. Hylissang, after getting caught, I think it's good to give him up, because where is he going? He is... this is when your friend tries cocaine for the first time and he's looking for a confrontation. He's just fucking running in. It's like, hey, you know? It's crazy how people that take coke, they become confrontational and want to fight with everything that fucking moves. They just want shit to happen. So here, LangX calls him on his bullshit, jumps in, flash ult. Very good fight here for RNG, considering they got the Rift Herald as well. I think Fnatic need to recognize what their composition is about as well. And Broxa. Optimistic, but yeah, it's okay. RNG being ahead with this composition should be natural though. But before this play, Fnatic actually held on tight. Fnatic's bot lane began to make some progress in their lane matchup, and RNG with a very good well-timed swap here that caught Fnatic off guard, even though they had vision. So LangX here going mega. Us reckless with the well-timed flash. He would die if he didn't. Bippo gets bitten by Rek'Sai. So Fnatic still, they need to find picks, they need to find plays with Hilibaba. And after they find some plays with Hilibaba, the best thing that can happen, would Broxa kill if he killed earlier during the kick? I don't know. Probably not. Find picks, do the Fnatic thing where you use Fog in a good way. I don't know who gets mid-prio right now. I assume Morgana might have mid-prio, but I think the same thing stands, where if RNG are allowed to... you know, it sucks. Every time I'm in the middle of a thought, Hylissang does something crazy. Because he just cancelled the fucking Herald. That's just fucking ridiculous. He dies for it. God bless him. That's worth it. That's fucking worth it. Hilibaba. Okay. Fnatic's job here is to just delay the RNG onslaught. But at the same time, you know, RNG are not scaling that terribly. Nar, as soon as he reaches Black Cleaver and maybe some Bladed Rune King or something, he's gonna start to hard bully Shen. Right now, Shen is keeping it up. Shen got some attention from Lee. He got assist from Rek'Sai fail diving. Happens. Kayla's on top with TP ready. RNG are gonna lose out here. They're playing for the Dragon. Ocean, I think it's not worth to give up the top CS for. I think RNG definitely shouldn't have hard traded here. But I'm curious to see how it lines up now. Xayah, Karma, Rek'Sai versus Lee, Morgana, Blitz. There's definitely more tools for Fnatic to catch people off guard and make people look like dumbasses. Fnatic, with RNG committing to the Dragon here, are very happy to trade into this top tower. Turret platings are getting gathered, and Reckless already cleared the mid-wave, so nothing's gonna happen in return. Bottom is getting pressured. Maybe Whippo could have stayed on the tower, but he based for the safety of his life. I think maybe he could gamble, because as RNG was afraid and went into Like RNG went into Drake space, he became afraid. But maybe here he could just straight up stay under the turret and defend some of those platings. Because maybe dying for those platings is worth it, honestly. You could suicide to defend the wave, and at the same time RNG would be forced to have a reaction. Did we just teleport ahead of time? What happened? We just kind of teleported. Am I... Oh, what the... What? What the... Yo. Don't spoil me. Okay. Oh, the stream is intact. The fuck happened? Okay. Herald. Well, we saw Herald got a kill, so I guess that's what's happening next. Shen managed to defend bot and kill didn't get top tower. Sorry, this 20 minutes shit caught me off guard. Lang X starting to pressure with the black cleaver. Okay. Roxa. I think Lang X could have kept ult. Should have gone longer. K level 11 now, starting to become a champion. That's positive. As long as Fnatic can maintain a game state that looks like this, you know, their chances are increasing in the game. Their chances are definitely increasing in the game. What the fuck just happened? What the? Oh man. Okay. So Lang survives. RNG trying to get mid prio. Fnatic maintaining a status quo. Xiaohu, Pippa has no flash. But Xiaohu also against Gunblade. I guess Gunblade makes the Shen a bit more interesting. Xiaohu tries to flash away, but he gets cut in half. This is very positive for Fnatic. If they can maintain this game position here, then all is good. All is good. I think the fact that Karsa dove top was a big tempo swing in the advantage of Fnatic in terms of how little they pressured around the map. Because this allowed Morgana and Blitzcrank to reach a point where they could start to push. They managed to kill Ming. Fnatic, you know, I was very skeptical with their draft, but they're finding windows here to pressure. And RNG are doing quite the opposite. Xiao here with Comet is not going to get away. I think Phase Rush. Like, you don't need Comet to win the lane here, so I think Phase Rush is just better. Nash's Tooth almost finished on KO. I think KO is going to begin to win now. You know, it started off so good for RNG. Why are we teleporting, man? What's up with this? It started off so good for RNG in the sense that they managed to get the dive on mid and then they just never continued. Never ever did anything else again. Now she'll lose against Kale for sure. Blitzcrank Morgana. A pry on mid because Dia's on bot. RNG now in preparation for the Drake. Lang X has TP on. Fnatic. Man, what's happening? Why am I teleporting? I can't fucking enjoy it. Shit. Oh man. Oh man. I don't want to get spoiled. I don't want to get spoiled. Videos.
Speed for SK.
No. No.
Have to take down RNG or SK.
Oh.
Of that purple.
Okay.
The mine. Right, everyone always talks.
Right now, I mean,
Where were we?
Comp and some specifics you want to see.
yeah, so
19.
when we initially saw the draft and we saw
Instant binding out of the.
Coming into this match was Uzi versus
we already talked a lot earlier about the roaming gangs.
Okay, let's start from here. Fuck it. Yeah, Twitch. That's what's up. Okay, Jahu gets killed. Gunblade into Shenult. Interesting combination. Okay. I wonder now, like the big question mark for me is still who gets mid prio, because who gets mid prio changes so much for the game. Now with how strong Kayle is becoming, this is looking brighter and brighter for Fnatic. I was thinking, you know, in the beginning when they had Shen blind pick, Kayle mid, they lose prio everywhere, but they manage to make it work. I don't know much that speaks about RNG or Fnatic, but Fnatic seem to bounce back there at level 5 on bottom lane when they base for Lost Chapter. They managed to keep push. Then even after all, like RNG managed to get Rift, but there was no nothing. The Rift didn't work. The Zilisang sacrificed himself for it. It's interesting as well because Xayah is quite weak now in comparison to everyone else. Like Xayah needs to reach 3 items, and the fact that Fnatic don't have an AD carry, it kind of bridges the gap for Fnatic into that part where Kayle becomes unstoppable. So still Fnatic in a team fight, they need to find catches, need to find one-shots, because Blitzcrank, Morgana, Shen, Lee, they can definitely lock something down. And then now Kayle is TPing, means Fnatic want to contest this. Gnar is nowhere to be found, the wave is not in a good position on top, so this is good for Fnatic in terms of the wave position on top. Nemesis no TP, that's the flash. Flash for flash, pretty good. Fnatic, honestly, I doubted their composition, but they're making it work. They're making it work. I don't mind being wrong. This is not me flip-flopping, this is me admitting that I'm wrong. I just thought that, you know, from the early game perspective, after Karsa set up this dive on Kayle, you can just continue. You can just continue, you can snowball the shit out of the map, but Jahu and Karsa didn't play together, and the fact that Karsa dove top was such a big mistake. Very big mistake. Shen is gonna start to lose even harder, and Nemesis TP is a very valuable resource to spend. But Fnatic having no AD carry, this mountain might make the difference later when they are doing Nash, so I think it's a fair trade. They're gonna not pressure side so much. Uzi with cleanse is gonna scale well into the game. Let's see if RNG can survive these team fights, because once again, the further we go into the game, Fnatic don't have an AD, they only have the Kayle to win and carry the fights, but there's an extent to how much a Kayle can and cannot do. Of course, with Black Shield and Shenult and Shen W, she has a lot of tools, but RNG on Rise and Xayah and Gnar, they have some tools to do some stuff. Karma, I think, is definitely useless at this point in the game, and Fnatic have a lot of potential of killing these carries in fights later on because of this Karma pick. So while it was interesting to take it away from Fnatic, the fact that Fnatic transitioned into putting a support that's good into Karma is great, because as I think Karma counters Morgana support, it doesn't counter Morgana AD too much. Uzi is taking blue, he doesn't give a shit, Jahu's coming. They are putting Jahu on mid and Uzi on sides. Gnar is itemizing towards Frozen Mullet. Okay. So now it seems like Fnatic are maintaining mid prio. The change up of putting Jahu in mid didn't really change anything. Lang can look to chase Bwipo now over and over. There's no threat of him being ganked. Shen is just going to look to clear the waves while Gnar hits the turret, but it's kind of tricky because Gnar doesn't have the longest range on the planet because he's a Yordle. No, I'm kidding. He just doesn't have long range, and Shen can taunt him. So now this is new composition for me, so we're going to learn about Fnatic. Morgana, honestly, the Blitzcrank Morgana works because Morgana takes prio at 5. I like it. Because early they were just taking it, they were accepting that they don't have prio, but it's natural against Karma. Very natural against Karma. And now Nemesis, as he approaches level 16, it's going to get dangerous for RNG. Uzi has soon 3 items. That's also going to be dangerous, and we all have to pay attention to how Fnatic can use their tools to catch an Uzi. But he has cleanse and ult, so it might be difficult. The glacial augment is another tool that Fnatic have to set up good fights. Fnatic have a lot of tools to just catch kids off guard. Fnatic are threatening Nash now. Glacial augment is coming. It's flying. It's flowing, and glacial augment didn't proc. Otherwise, Hylissang maybe could catch someone. This Blitzcrank is not tanky at all. He took a combination to the face, and Ryze walks away with the Banshees. So the Banshee is a very good purchase. I like the Banshee purchase. I like the Mercury threads. Very valuable against Fnatic. As a champion, Kayle doesn't want to buy too much. He doesn't want to buy Void Staff, right? So any type of MR in any shape or form is very good against Fnatic's roster here. We didn't talk about it too much, but the damage here on Fnatic's side is very AP heavy. Okay. This is wild. Let's see how fast Kayle can do Nash. He has no Ginzu, so he doesn't have like ridiculous attack speed. Kayle gets knocked up. Blitzcrank hook is flying. Okay. Fnatic are maintaining the pressure. Let's see how fast Gnar can pressure on bottom. Honestly, quite slow. I don't think Bwipo can take enough harass from Gnar to have any serious impact on the turret before like 3 items of Gnar. Magic resistance, once again, very good. Uzi waiting for 3 items, I think is going to be a big part of the decision making behind RNG team fighting or not. You see here Morgana's full combo here on Xiaohu didn't do any damage. Lang is moving already. Black Shield is on. Reckless has to flash. There's a big flash. Xiao is very tanky. MR purchase is going to be huge. I'm happy RNG recognized this before I did. Magic resistance is going to be monstrous. Lee doesn't have enough damage to compensate at all. Another thing here with the Shen is that he can't heavy itemize armor into the Gnar. I think they should heavily consider putting the Ryze into bottom after, for example, Shen finishes his next item. Oh, excuse me. Yawn. I didn't eat yet, and I think my body is feeling it. Later down the line, it's also hard for RNG to find engages. They need to play on range, rapid fire hits. They don't have the best engage on the planet, especially against the Black Shield. So if this Kayle is getting too fed and is going down bottom and is taking enemy base, RNG don't have that many tools to do much. Xiaohu also used TP, I'm not sure why. He just TP'd onto the lane top because they keep Gnar on bottom. He's like, I don't give a shit about my TP, I'm just gonna go top. Kayle is showing on bottom. Because after Kayle is so strong and he's gonna split, if he's 16 and he wins split against most people because of phase rush of Ryze, no phase rush. I think with phase rush, Ryze will always win Kayle. But without phase rush, ooh. Okay. Nemesis choking a bit, but all good. Brock's trying to find the kill. Starting to look dangerous. Nemesis on bottom now. Ryze used TP. I don't like it. Ryze should have been the one being bottom. I think Ryze can still win Kayle at this point because of the MR that he bought. He wins Shen as well. Because we were talking about RNG's ability to engage is close to none. And when an enemy Kayle is taking your base on bottom, you need to be able to pressure somewhere else. Maybe start a Nash, find an engage. Hylissang looking like he's about to get caught. Another thing though is Fnatic, while they're splitting with Kayle on bottom, Kayle is necessary for Fnatic to do Nasher. So maybe if Kayle gets ganked and dies, I don't think Fnatic can respond by taking Nasher because they have no damage on it straight up. Karsa and Xiaohu are duo queuing Nash. Karsa's getting killed and Xiaohu and RNG, like they just can't do it. Now he's gonna get adaptive helmet, very good against Kayle, and then he's gonna be able to survive the kill damage. Still no Ginzu. I don't know what Nemesis is buying next. I feel like Ginzu is so OP on Kayle, no? Maybe I'm maybe unboosted Kale. It's probably it's the champion I've never played, only champion I've never played, the new Kale. So I can't give a personal feedback. Oh, Nemesis is getting fucked. Go, force the Shen ult, and then just ult him away, and then walk away. I was a believer. Respecting Shen ult way too much, I think. But Kale is not winning. So that split push win condition that we spoke about, after Spectral of Gnar, it didn't seem like Kale had anything to say. Is he buying Void stuff? Is that what he's buying? Kinda makes sense here now, no? If he doesn't have Void stuff, he doesn't really do damage at this point. Like everyone on RNG have so much MR except Uzi. Adaptive Helmet is ready, Liandry's. Don't know if I like the Liandry's. The HP pools are not that massive. I guess like Rek'Sai, it's buying Black Cleaver, and the Rise, the Gnar is buying some items, but I don't think Liandry is that great. Like, okay, you can use the passive because you fight slow and you fight long fights. But at this point, just because Fnatic have no threat with physical damage, RNG's magic resistance is so cost efficient. So yeah, Lang here is with his adaptive helmet is so tanky. And the Banshee and Uzi is the only one without MR. The Rise ult comes in, Hillisang flash, boom, Hilibaba is dead, but Uzi positioning here is a bit optimistic, to say the least. They still have Gnar ult. Karsa is going in. Nemesis. Kale ult's coming in slow, but this is, you know, earlier when we said in Champion Select that Kale can't really use Shen in any way. It's not like it's an Akali that can jump in. Okay. I was saying also that RNG don't have that many engage tools, and here Fnatic is just too split up. Because here, if let's say they're in a position to just hit and kite back, then all is better. But Fnatic is so split up and they can't really use each other. They need each other. They need Kale to hit whenever something gets CC'd, whenever something kind of commits. They need just the Kale damage. They need to stick around as 5. They have a protect the Kale composition. They need to stick around together. And now, after Blitzcrank dies and Morgana has zoned off, this fight is just a loser. Honestly, here Uzi walking forward is the only thing that's preventing Fnatic from collapsing on these 3 that are cut off. So maybe this move that Uzi did is just necessary. He has ult still on, he only used cleanse, and he distracted Fnatic long enough for RNG to just kill some of the members here. Uzi coming back now, and Fnatic is just wiped out. Broxa looking for a steal. Broxa, can you steal? You can fight Lang, he doesn't do damage to you. You have adaptive element. Okay, so we're learning about Kale. Magic resistance is just a big counter to Kale. Full AP team, you know. Here, if you have a Tristana, then it's cool. I think Phase Rush is so OP on Rise, especially in games like this. I think if you win lane, then you should go Phase Rush. Look at Dandy. Dandy knows what's up. Imagine they have Dandy. They have Dandy and Stake. Draft Kings. And now Uzi is buying his magic resistance. Let's see what item comes next for Nemesis. Needs to be Void Staff, no? There's no other choice. I can do so much magic damage and everyone on enemy team has full MR. Ming the Ardent bot. RNG, they had really good preparation though. Like the Pike ban, like the GP ban. As a response to Renekton Vladimir ban. I was excited about this Kayle, but honestly Kayle needs 6 items. Or a different build. I can't imagine this Kayle killing everyone with this build. Like if you end the build with no death cap, no void, no Ginzu. Those are the monster items on Kayle. And these items might be fine for you to transition into a mid to late game and have an okay late game. But that's usually fine when you have an AD carry on your side. Here, the Kayle needs to 1v9. Let's see if her DPS changes anything with the void. It's just important that Fnatic play compact and together the team fights. They need to play as a ball, as 5. And if they find catches and Nemesis gets to hit, maybe it can work. Uzi needs to ult. CP on of Lang is quite tanky. Healy Baba is gonna die. Okay, kicks. Shen still has ultimate. Fnatic lose 1 member. Not sure about the Zhonya's Hourglass as well for Morgana. I think it's pretty useless. With Sendbot now on Nar, he has monster MR. Monster MR. I didn't think about it earlier. I thought about it the moment RNG started buying MR. It's like, holy shit, they can just buy MR. Here, maybe if Nemesis gets the death cap, could happen. Healy Baba getting caught. Story of Healy Baba's life. Look at that damage though, it's starting to get juicy here from Nemesis. But Rise damage is also quite juicy. It's very juicy. Rise damage is more burst and more upfront. Kayle needs to hit for such a long time. No. Honestly, called it right the first time. This comp is just dog shit. Look, he doesn't do damage, man. Doesn't do damage against his Witsend. Witsend Nar. Void is not enough. Is death cap enough? This is suicide from Fnatic. Get in there, RNG. Get in there and kill them all. That's what they deserve. Langx with the bounce. Ooh. Boom. It ain't over yet. Oh, Uzi, aye. Nemesis, you had to smurf there. That was your opportunity to smurf. Oh, Nemesis. Oh, Jahu, he misses the Q, and one more just procs, and it's all over. Fnatic loses to a TKO. RNG recognize that they just need to buy MR. That's the clutch there. Recognize you need to buy MR. Buying MR was such a game changer here. Void stuff needs to be bought. Fnatic started to do some damage, but I'm so worried with Fnatic draft because they become so limited in the early game and they rely on RNG's mistakes. Granted, RNG made some mistakes here that gave Fnatic some breathing room, and then eventually every matchup began to develop in a way that was favorable for Fnatic. That's something that we can highlight. Kayle was starting to win his side, but then afterwards Nar bought MR and the matchup just fucking shifted. Boom. Matchup shifted. The key word here is magic resistance. Enemy team has no AD carry. This is not like SKT's team comp where they had the Kayle and Tristana. There was 2 threats here that was scaling away. and time was on their side. Here, it's not like RNG scale bad either. Rise is a monster with items, Xayah is a monster with items. So here, we knew that the team fights could go either way. Magic Resistance just tilted the scaling heavily into RNG's side. The MR made Kael's split push essentially useless. I think RNG could have found, more opportunities by putting Ryze on bottom, but I think they were just scared of Fnatic making plays with the Shen, which is something that RNG denied very well. But at the same time, I don't think Fnatic has a lot of options with their composition if they want to force with Shen, because Shen loses prio against Gnar, and Fnatic's bot lane can't really force so well to make Shen TP and dive. So Shen was the blind pick, was dangerous, was responded to with Gnar. Gnar had one of the best games of Gnar that I've seen in a long time. Gnar is perfect in games like this because there's not enough damage to kill him, and when he gets to kind of be alive and be really tanky and do damage, Gnar is kind of okay at everything. And a champion that is okay at everything is perfect against a composition that lacks damage. And potentially could have went for Mercury instead of Ninja Tabi. Ninja Tabi was a bit troll, honestly. Mercury would have made him unstoppable this game. I think Fnatic's composition still... I think Fnatic, in their games that they're playing and they lost against SKT, they showed a lot of good things. They find opportunities, they pressure the map, they find ganks, but honestly, their composition, I feel like, is just holding them back. And this is something that maybe they practiced, had a lot of success with, and this is what they want to do. I don't know what the thinking process is behind it. I want the focus to be reckless. I don't know if the team is not confident in playing standard ADCs. We've seen Uzi massacre Teddy even, so it's understandable to some degree. Fnatic managed to get prio with the Morgana Blitzcrank at level 5, so it was interesting. I don't want to put the blame entirely on that. It's just that when your top lane is Shen, jungle is Lee Sin, there's not a lot of threats on your team, and after a Magic Resistance was bought, Mercs were bought, Nemesis scaling was delayed for so long, and Ryze scaling and Xayah scaling was just better. When the Maw was bought, when the Banshee was bought, it looked very hard for Nemesis to do damage. Also, Fnatic got caught, Hilisan got caught multiple times trying to set up plays. It looked very desperate, and it looked very, very desperate. And I apologize for being kind of all over the place, because you are venturing into my own mind when I am reviewing this as we go, and some people might say that, oh, I have conflicting opinions throughout reviewing a game. It's just that my opinion is not... I'm very open-minded, and I'm happy to admit that I'm wrong, because a big part of why I'm doing this is to learn and to understand League better as well, and learn to communicate it better. So in games like this, when drafts are very new, I'm going to be kind of all over the place. But my conclusion is straight up and simple. Fnatic, very limited in the early game. They need to punish mistakes, and then later scaling. Fnatic don't scale that extraordinary well to anything else. I lost my train of thought. My phone flared up and I got distracted. I'm just gonna put it upside down. Fnatic, as I said, very little tools in the early game. Scaling doesn't justify the problem that they have in the early game. RNG could have played a lot better. I think the first dive on Nemesis was perfect. Then just use the fact that you have prio to continue this pressure onto Kael, because they can easily just one-shot her over and over under the turret up until she's 6, and then you can dive, and then you can start to pressure the whole map, and all is good, RNG definitely could have taken this game by storm if they pressured properly, because they had 3 pushing lanes. SKT, when they had 3 pushing lanes, then it looked vastly different. And Broxah found some holes there. They tried to dive on top, it didn't work. They got a gank in on bottom, they defended top dive, And then later, Fnatic with their prio, it's hard for them to force anything because their Nashor is really bad. So RNG are very happy to play the scaling game. Like Fnatic's Nashor is just so weak, it takes too long. And RNG can just play the scaling game. When IE happened, when X-Drinker happened, and MR on R happened, all of a sudden they lose split and they can't really ult on bottom. Even if Kayle goes bottom, they can gank Kayle and Fnatic can't just pressure Nash. I don't like this focus on Nemesis. You know, Nemesis has had a fine tournament. I don't want to blame him, but it's time for Reckless to get his hands dirty. Otherwise, I think Fnatic are going to get knocked out of this tournament in group. They are not putting up a great fight as of now. So we'll have to pay attention to that and how it develops. With that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next review. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.